Hey guys, this is Poverty's a Bitch, and I thought I'd start a new channel here. It's going to be on game programming, and this is for coders, because there's two different angles. There's the developer, the designer, and then there's the math savvy, concept savvy coder. So this is going to focus more on the code side than the design and development. You'll be making tools and writing the code and going over concepts and how to best deal with everything, data and packages and all the rest. About 12 years ago, it finally clicked. I mean, all my life I was, well, from the age of 9 on, I've always been programming, but it never made sense. So when I hit 27, I was, spare time, I was able to learn some Java, and it just clicked, and I realized that, step aside, all I need is time. I can make anything, and I was going to make an MMO. Well, MMOs take 33,000 hours just to get it to a testing stage, as in a complete testing where you're bringing in like hundreds of thousands of people and testing the server and everything else. So, everyone wants an MMO. But do the hours, it'll take years. I think it was some outrageous amount, like 120 years, if you put in, say, 500 hours a year. No, the math doesn't even add up. 66 years, there we go, at 500 hours a year, and that's about 10 hours a week with 2 weeks off. So anyways, yeah, this shot is not too exciting here. Look, books and binders. So, I hand-coded, self-coded for about 12 years, and I just hit the wall. It was kind of exhausting, it was tiresome. I took a few college classes, but I kind of give it up for a while. So I'm wanting to get it going. So what I was going to do is just introduce all of the, oh, it's a reflection off the mirror, off the glass, yeah, stuff on the wall, meh. So I thought I would start off and actually teach concepts of how to program, and I'll be showing off code and all the rest. But let's get started. The things you'll need is a sketch, a writing book, any kind of writing. Whew, that was bright. Any kind of writing, line paper. This is an old one, so I've got some previous writing in it. But yeah, this is what I'm going to cover first. But anyways, second, well, you need something to write in. Don't worry. I prefer a spiral-bound book, so that if you don't like it, like what you wrote, you just tear it out. You just need a basic teach yourself standard C++. I started with C for the first year, moved on to C++, but anything, Sam's Teach Yourself in 30 days or 21 days, whatever it is excellent. I'm not going to be teaching the basics, the absolute basics, the if statements, the for statements, the do loops, the structures and classes and pointers. I'm not going to cover that. So grab yourself a book of this, just dive right in. But when it comes to game programming concepts, a lot of times, like, I need a map, and you look at like World of Warcraft map, and it's beautiful, and it's just like, it's too big. So where I'm going to start is literally text, because we have to start somewhere, and from there you build onto it. So also, I'd highly recommend having a reference book. Now, of course, you don't have to go out and do this. There's plenty of great websites, but there's nothing like just sitting down at a coffee shop with a cup of coffee or whatever you drink, tea, Mountain Dew, Monster, whatever. Sitting down and just reading a chapter and then go and apply it. So that's what I'd highly recommend. And if you don't have the money for, this book was probably 40 bucks, that book's probably 50 bucks. If you don't have 40 bucks, then you got to find a way. If your parents love you, they'll buy it for you. So, yeah, my little list here of things to cover. So let's get started. Cover that, cover. So the first thing, well, I'm going to be covering concepts, mapping and game engines, and basically writing a game is like building a organism. You got to start somewhere. So the first place we're going to start is a single cell. What came first, chicken or the egg? Obviously the chicken, because the chicken, a single cell, doesn't need to lay eggs. Laying eggs is a little bit complex. But anyways, enough with the analogies. So the basic way of learning is by doing. So I'm going to present some concepts, and then I'm going to let you guys do some coding for a week, and then probably come back, and the next week I will show you how I got my coding done. So the coding is actually going to be every 2 weeks. That way I'm not rushing you guys to hurry up. And again, you're probably listening to this like 2 or 3 years after I posted it online anyways. So hopefully this works. Woo! Fingers, you can see it. Okay, what else? I get so distracted. I gotta have a little to-do list. So the channel's still up in the air. It's probably going to improve. There's probably going to be some bad stuff that I post, but please forgive me. There's a lot I need to get. But for now, I'm going to stick with design in the first one, followed by coding in the second one. So I'll probably do one post a week. So design will be 1 week, and then coding the second. So there'll be 26 weeks of coding, 26 weeks of design. So hopefully it's not too fast. Now when it comes to how much time you invest, everyone's got a full-time job, girlfriend, boyfriend, bills to pay, you know, licenses to renew, just the whole 9 yards. So most people, if you can get in 5 hours a week, just, you know, one session, sit down for 3 hours, and another session for 2, great. That's the way to do it. But ideally, I'm going to be aiming at 10 hours. So that would put 520 hours a week in. So hopefully I can do it, but I've got a life like everyone else, so this may not be easy. So I'll do my best. So it is December 14th. Game design. So getting into the design concept, it's a single-celled organism. So you've got your application, and it's a massive do loop. You do your intros, you do your it's not focusing. Your main menu, new game, load game, quit. From there, you start the game engine itself. Some people call it the daemon. I don't like the word daemon. I'm just going to call it game engine. And this is where you test to see if a keyboard has been typed on, a mouse has been clicked on, if data has arrived, test to see if your data needs to be sent, redraw your screen, and and then process your data, and then repeat the loop. And so you'll need to break out of this to get back to the menu, and then after that you need to break out again to get out of the application. In addition to all this, this single cell needs to work well on your computer. So there'll be some outside Windows code to bring in, test to see if it's got an error or glitch, or just so that this plays nice on Windows. Now, I do want to get into Linux. I just don't know Linux very well, so I'll have to do a crash course and then teach what I know. So we'll be using the compiler, which is a GCC general coding general C compiler. So anyways, I think that's it. Let me quickly look over. Let's see. Yeah. So when it comes to programming, games, design, comics, music, movies, it is all creative stuff. So I say so much. I gotta stop saying so. So. When it comes to being creative groups, it gets down to personality. Whether it's a music band or a movie or a game, it's the same thing. You're going to have to deal with personalities, groups, and everyone's pulling in their own direction. So finding an ideal group is going to be hard, and I've searched for many times, but the best way is actually go into there's a few places doing game competitions, small things like text. So we're going to start on text because that's some place to start. Like a single-celled organism, we're going to start at the basics, and I'm going to cover how to make your own engine. And it's not going to be easy. The work is going to be hard, and the rewards are not going to be instantaneous. This isn't like, hey, go gather 5 apples, come back, dun, here's your copper, copper piece and a sword. No, it's not that way. It's like months and months of work for finally something to work. And it's like, this is great. Now I gotta do this 100 more times to have something I can be to be playable. So again, the best way to do it is just to dive in. So the second part of the very first one will be on the computer. So I will cover the hello world just to get going. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in a moment.